Hello, welcome back to Color Me Impressed. I'm Emily and today I am here with you coloring out of Hanna Karlzon's Spirit Animals. I love this book and I don't get to color in it enough just because you gotta be in a pencil mood, right? Wrong. Okay, I don't know why I have never tried coloring in this book with water-based markers. I'm just not as excited by my work when I use water-based markers. But I thought I really wanted to work in this book, and I've been saving this page for a rainy day, which it is a rainy day today here in Chicago. And I thought I'd give it a try. So what I did, I'm using the Ohuhu dual-based water-based markers. I use these a lot for Tracing Around the World series by Erie. I use the brush tip end mostly because I really like how that, I don't know, it makes it a little bit easier to be less streaky when you're using water-based markers. And then of course this also has a fine tip on it as well. So what I did is I just went through with the brush tip in her hair. I thought the hair would be a good place to use the water-based markers because it has a lot of lines already, so it wouldn't be as weird if it was kind of streaky because I would kind of be coloring in the lines anyways. But yeah, so I'm working on that. I've done half of her hair with the water-based marker, and then I've gone over with just my black colored pencil to add a little bit of shading, kind of where I thought it would need it. Anywhere where it looks like maybe her hair was under something. And again, this is very basic shading. I have no sense of color theory or where light actually hits anything. So this is just my kind of idiot's way of using water-based markers and shading over them. So that's the hair situation. The face, I've kind of just been using these four colors, building up a little bit of warmer skin tone here. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is kind of where I've ended up with the face. I think I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I don't really feel like doing that much else with it, to be honest. So I really wanted to come and chat with you and color the rest of her hair while I am working on the coloring scare tag. So this coloring scare tag was created by Colorfully Optimistic and Emma Colors 2020. I was tagged by a few people. Thank you so much to Danielle from Danny Buttons and Camille from Camille's Coloring Mania for tagging me. I'm a huge Halloween person and I love scary things. So this was an exciting tag for me to do. So I haven't really looked at the questions too in depth. I wanted my answers to be kind of spontaneous. So if I take a while to respond, you know why. I'm going to grab my color chart here, wherever it is. Okay, so I have my color chart next to me. I have my water-based markers and my pencils. So I think let's jump right into the tag. Actually, let's jump into coloring first so I can get started. And I'll show you. I'm not doing anything super crazy. I don't know why I feel like I'm doing a tutorial. Because there's nothing to show you other than I am using a water-based marker like a normal person would in this book. But I just think it's turning out pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit streaky. You can kind of see some of the white of the paper coming through. But I think it actually works well for hair specifically because it kind of looks like the light is touching it in a way, creating like highlights and lowlights and such. So yeah, I was so excited to realize that I could use water-based markers in this book. I feel like that is a game changer for me, and I know people have been doing this. Like Michaela over at Michaela Renee has done this in the past, and I don't know why I just thought it wouldn't look good if I did it, but I think it's pretty okay. All right, so this is pretty much just what I'm doing. Hopefully this isn't too boring to watch. So question number 1 of the coloring scare tag. What weapon would you choose if you were living in The Walking Dead? I'm not really a violent person, so this is weird for me. I've never really handled any weapons unless you count when I cut open my hand when I was trying to open an avocado. So, I mean, I definitely don't want any sort of close range weapons. I would not be good with hand-to-hand combat. But I'm probably not coordinated enough to like aim any sort of weapon either. And I've always thought bows and arrows were cool, and that'd probably be something I would be able to do more than any other weapon. But I've always kind of thought like it was so wasteful. I mean, I guess bullets are also kind of consumable, but bows and arrows specifically, I feel like requires a lot more maintenance, you know? You need to make all the arrows. I'm assuming I'm making them. And then it's gone right away. You have to be super fast to get the next one going. I don't know. Oh my God. My answer is so boring. Jeez, I'm so sorry. Long story short, I honestly feel like I would kind of be the one who would not try to fight, and I would just hide and then run the other way. So yeah, that's my answer. I guess no weapon, or if I was in a bind, like maybe a bow and arrow. Question number 2. If you were paid to stay the night in a haunted house, would you? And how much would they have to give you? Yeah, this is weird because I like scary stuff, but I also get really scared. So I think I would kind of want to try staying at a haunted house, but I would be terrified. I think other people have answered this and said they would if somebody else was with them. And I think I would have to echo that sentiment. Could probably do it. I tend to get like a little bit of an ego when I'm around people and be like, oh yeah, like I can definitely do this. Got it on the other page. So yeah, if I was with somebody, I would probably do it. Honestly, I don't really think I'd have to be paid that much. As long as I'm not about to lose my life or anything like that. Although if I do, I mean, what does it matter how much I was paid, right? So yeah, I'd probably do it for free, to be honest. As long as somebody was there with me and there was no real sense of danger. Number 3, what superstition or urban legend do you believe? I don't know if I really believe in superstitions, at least any that I can think of off the top of my head, but I definitely believe that like the Loch Ness Monster is real, that Bigfoot is probably real, but it's not something that's really ruling my life in a way. I don't know, do aliens count as urban legends either? I feel like I believe in extraterrestrial beings. I don't know. I don't think humans are the only humanoid type of being in this universe. So, yeah, I would have to say I probably believe in a few of the things that have a lot of those different personal accounts of people running into them. And like spirits and stuff I believe in. But again, it's not something that I'm like actively thinking about at all times. Question number 4. What horror movie did you never get over? Ugh, this is so hard because so many of them have impacted me at some point in my life. I think the first scary movie I ever saw was The Exorcist. And it was just on TV, and my dad was letting me watch it, and I was kind of scared. And I mean, I might have been like, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe even younger. So I really shouldn't have been watching it anyways. So I was super scared, but I wanted to hang out with my dad who was watching it. Fine. Well, he ends up falling asleep right away, but I felt like it's one of those things I just couldn't look away. It was so scary to me. I mean, that movie is just great in general. And rewatching it as an adult, it's really not that scary. But it's just so inventive, and there's genuinely creepy things in it. So that movie really messed me up for a while. But it's something that just kind of always scared me. But then there's other movies that kind of came out in the, like early 2000s maybe, that have, like certain qualities. Like The Ring, I was scared of TVs for I don't know how long, still low-key kind of am. Something like, something happens at 3 a.m. So then for a while I was scared of the time 3 a.m. Like that, those types of things kind of stuck with me for a while. I don't know, some of those horror movies just have the folklore around that specific monster. So then those things kind of scared me. But yeah, I would say The Exorcist was the first movie that really scared me, and kind of like around that same time, Poltergeist also was scary to me. But now I'm kind of over those, and still just sometimes I will think about various scary movies that I've seen where just the images just stick with me for whatever reason, or those little folklore things about, the TVs or 7 Days or whatever it is. Those still kind of freak me out. But yeah, I think most recently those The Insidious, The Conjuring, those movies have really stuck with me. So sometimes I'll get creeped out, and like if I think about an image of that too long, I start panicking. All right, number 5. What is your favorite scary and or Halloween coloring book? Ooh, this is a good question. What is my favorite? You know what? First off, I don't really color in scary coloring books simply because they tend to be a little bit more detailed and not really my cup of tea. Not because it's scary, but because I'm lazy. But I have really been enjoying Hannah Lynn's Enchanted Halloween. And I think because I'm a huge Hannah Lynn fan and I didn't get to color in it as much as I wanted to last season. So I think I've really been enjoying that book. I've done several pictures in that book this month. So I can't wait to show you those in my completed pages video that's coming up soon. But yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite right now, Enchanted Halloween by Hannah Lynn. And of course, I haven't really been coloring for very long, so I'm probably limited by my knowledge and what coloring books are out there. Question number 6, what is the scariest book you've ever read? So this is also an interesting question because I don't read a lot of horror. My mind is a scary place, and so my active imagination would definitely creep me out way more than watching a movie, for instance. But I've really been wanting to give it a go, so I think it was last Halloween, I believe it was, that I read The Shining by Stephen King. So that's probably my first horror book I think I've read. And I mean, I thought I wouldn't like Stephen King for whatever reason, but that book I just thought was so well done. And this is probably like everyone saying, duh, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was going to be scared because The Shining is definitely a creepy movie and it has some really great imagery, but it's not something that has me shaking in my boots. But the book really does. There was one part where I didn't think I could read through it. I thought I would have to skip over it. So yeah, I really liked The Shining. I'll probably read more Stephen King books, but if anyone has any recommendations for horror books, please leave them down in the comments below. Very curious to see what else people enjoy reading. Okay, so I finished this side of the hair and I'm not really sure what my plan is now. I'll probably show you how I was doing some of the shading with my black colored pencil, and then we'll see what I want to do with the wings. So in this book, what I'm doing is kind of trying to coordinate the colors on each page. just because they are supposed to be kind of matching or coordinating pages. So do I have an example somewhere of that? So yeah, for this double page spread, I'm kind of bringing all the colors that I used in here into this page. So I kind of want to do something similar with this spread. I probably won't color this side soon, to be honest with you, but maybe, we'll see. I definitely like writing the colors down to make sure that when I go back, I know what I was doing. So I think I want to kind of stick with this purple and black theme, maybe add in some grays and some kind of, I don't know, what do we think, burgundies or dark greens? I want to keep it very dark and gothic in terms of the color palette. So yeah, again, not doing any super crazy shading or anything. Just trying to darken up some of those areas. While I'm doing that, let's return to the questions here. Question number 7, if you could be a scary monster, which one would you be? Well, I definitely turn into a monster when I'm in a bad mood or when I'm hungry. Maybe I could be the Cookie Monster. I really like cookies. Yeah, let's go with Cookie Monster. Don't really know what other kind of monster I'd be, to be honest. Question number 8, where is the scariest place you have ever been? I feel like I don't go to too many scary places. Yeah, I don't know. I've done some of those haunted tours of Chicago just because there were so many tragedies and kind of like mobster deaths, things like that. So there's definitely places that I've visited where there's supposed to be a lot of death happening and a lot of supernatural activity there. But I'm not sure I was necessarily creeped out. It was just kind of cool to experience something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I would say one of my friend's basements used to really creep me out because it seemed like it was haunted. So yeah, it's so funny because I now tell myself that I was making things up, but back in the day when I was a kid, I thought I had seen ghosts and things like that. But now I don't know what's true and what's not because I don't know if I was making it up at the time. Question number 9, are you scared of the dark? And if so, what scares you the most about the dark? Yes, I am very scared of the dark. I really try to get over it. And I've been doing a lot better. And I think it's easier when you live with somebody. Because you can kind of like run to wherever they are and you'll probably be fine. But I think what scares me the most is that it's just so unknown. And I have kind of bad vision already, but especially when I don't have my contacts or my glasses on, it's just, in addition to being super dark, it's also extremely fuzzy. So I think it's just, you don't know what's there. And for whatever reason, I hope I'm not creeping anybody out, but when I am in the dark by myself, it just feels like something is there. I don't feel alone. And it's probably just, I'm on edge because I'm scared, but I get this weird sensation. So I think that's what scares me, is that feeling I get of not being alone. And then I also just have an overactive imagination, probably because I watch all these scary movies when I'm really terrified of them. So I can imagine like something being in the dark corner or something like that. So yeah, there's actually, if anyone's seen the movie called Hereditary with Toni Collette, there's this one scene where she sees something in the dark that kind of looks like a person, and they just if you know what I'm talking about, or if you have seen the movie, go back and watch the scene where she kind of goes into that room and sees a shadow, because that is literally what I kind of see in the dark. It's like a figure or something. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. It's just, that's how my imagination works, is I feel like I can see something there, and it's not super distinct or anything, but that's what my mind does and plays tricks on me. And that's why I get scared. I hope I'm not scaring anybody else. I'm kind of scaring myself talking about it. Okay, so I'm trying to see. It's a little bit hard to see what I'm doing because the pencil is kind of building up some, making it a little bit reflective. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you can really tell what I'm doing, but I'm just choosing random spots in the hair and deciding like this piece of hair is kind of over this other one, so I'm shading underneath there. I'm shading anywhere that she has some like jewelry, or where that it's by the, behind the head, by the neck, that type of stuff. So I'm not being super methodical at all. Question number 10, we're halfway through. Do you go to the toilet with the lights on or off after a scary movie? And if you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed to sleep? So the first question, I'm not really sure, because I always go to the bathroom with the lights on. Or is it asking if I turn all the lights on to walk to the bathroom? Maybe that's it. And the answer is definitely yes. I'm not about to walk in the dark. Too creepy. And I also, obviously, when I'm in the bathroom, the light is on. I need to see things. And then if you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed? Yes, for sure. My partner is notoriously messy and will leave like the closet open, the drawers open, and we cannot have that, especially when we are scared. So I have to close all the doors so that nothing can come out, you know, because obviously the door closed. If there's something in there, they can't come out if I close the door. So for sure. And also just because I will be freaking out about it if I'm trying to sleep. So better to be proactive, right? Number 11, do you prefer to watch scary movies with others or alone? Definitely with others, because I get too scared. And so having somebody there with me to talk to and maybe like laugh about something that was goofy makes it a lot more digestible to be able to watch some of the scary movies. And it's also just more fun, especially if the other person is also scared and jumpy. Then it's pretty funny. I will say that there are some shows that I watch that are a little bit scary, and so sometimes I find it hard to watch them by myself, so I will, you know, have somebody in the room while I'm watching, or I'll only watch it during the day, things like that. Is this looking bad? I cannot tell for the life of me. Yeah, it is. Ooh. Gotta blend that in a little more. Looks literally like there's just black colored pencil on top of the hair. Yikes. But yeah, so I can probably, I feel like this is one thing that you could literally just keep adding. So I might switch to something else once I kind of fix some of this. I can always come back to it later. Let's get back to the question, shall we? Okay, question number 12. Do you want to be a vampire, zombie, or a werewolf, and why? I mean, I feel like we all want to be vampires, don't we? First off, who wants to be a zombie? You're ugly. All you want to do is eat people, and you can't run very fast. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something I would wish upon anybody. So that's obviously out. Werewolf, I also feel like is portrayed so much as kind of losing control of yourself. And with severe anxiety and control issues, that just does not seem like a good mix. So that pretty much leaves vampire. And besides the fact that vampires are super romanticized in our culture, I also just think that's probably the one that you have the most control over, that you can maybe live like a normal life, provided you don't kill too many people. I don't know. As a vegetarian, these are all kind of iffy for me. I don't really want to eat any sort of living being. So yeah, but I think I'd want to be a vampire just because I'll probably live a normal life. And here's the thing, I need a quick tangent here, because I did partake in the Twilight Renaissance in, when was it? August? Which I will have you know that August 2020, I read all the Twilight books and watched all of the movies, and I told everyone, August 2021, we're rewatching all of the Twilight movies. And then they released it on Netflix and everyone started watching them. So, you know, just saying, I'm a trendsetter. You know, Twilight's so under the radar, right? So anyways, everyone wants to be a vampire because we have these romanticized depictions of them and they're always rich. Let's have a story about a vampire who hasn't been around for a while and who isn't rich. Like the poor vampire before they came up and had their glow up. You know what I'm saying? Where are those stories? And also, where are the stories about vampires who fall in love with old women or men? Because you're telling me that this 100-and-something old being is going for like some Gen Z TikToker? Like, no. They're going for somebody with traditional values, right? They're going for the nursing home folks. Oh my God. Oh, maybe I'll cut this out. This is such a tangent. Wow. Okay. Number 13, would you participate in the zombie run? These are city events, kind of like a haunted run thing. I don't run, but the idea sounds cool. Is there a zombie walk? Because if so, like that sounds something I'd be down with. Like just dress up in zombie makeup and just go for a nice brisk walk in the fall. What's not to like? And hopefully kind of with, I think it's the zombie runs where you get hot chocolate at the end. I'd be down for that. Question number 14, do you prefer gory, creepy, or cute and spooky? I like both. If we're talking about coloring specifically, I would say I'm kind of into the chibi gore or chibi creepy stuff. So like the chibi horror books I'm really into, where it's kind of creepy but kind of cute. I would say that's my vibe. Alan Roberts type of gory is not my thing just because it's so detailed. And a lot of those things can be kind of too intricate for me. So I like the chibi stuff, and that just happens to be less creepy. So I would say a mix, but I tend to color more of the cute and spooky type. All right, before we move on with the questions, let me think about what I'm doing here. What should we do with the bat head wing situation? Head wing. I can never find the right color chart here. Okay. So here's the colors I'm working with. Should we do like a dark gray maybe? Let's see how that looks. Let's do maybe 20, 21. Let's give that a go. So now here, I'm really interested what this is going to look like because I don't really have the buffer of the hair strands to kind of make it less streaky. But you know what? If it's streaky, I mean, who cares, right? Maybe I could use these little lines as sort of places where I can go over again. You know, the hard part is when it's long. Ooh. Oh my, do you guys see what just, like, really? Can't even color in the lines. Okay, that looks super streaky, but I don't know what to do about it. I have to cover this up now because I'm a dope. I don't know, should I like try to go over it again? Let's see what happens. Obviously I don't want to rip up the paper too much. What do we think? How is that looking? Okay. We'll keep doing that, see what happens. Let's go back to the questions. Number 15, what scares you most about being home alone? I'm not super scared of being home alone. I guess the thing that probably scares me the most is that there's nobody there to be a voice of reason. You know, a lot of times I'm like, oh my God, I heard something. And then Mike will just say like, that was obviously the furnace, you're crazy. And then I feel better. Whereas when I'm home alone, there's no voice of reason, nobody to talk me down from whatever thing creeping me out. Yeah. I think that's probably it. Kind of basic, but you know, and then also if something were to happen and I was alone, I mean, I don't even care necessarily that something happened to me, but it's, you know, Mike would come back and wouldn't know what happened to me. So it's kind of creepy. Okay, okay. Number 16, would you rather walk through a cornfield or a forest in the dark? Ooh, this question is so difficult for some reason because I feel like the forest would be infinitely more scary because there's more places that somebody could hide that would be harder for you to see as opposed to a cornfield. And then there's also all of the, you know, the forest canopy that's kind of hiding the sky probably. So that would make it also kind of scary, whereas a cornfield would be open at the top. But then there's so many scary movies and things that have happened in a cornfield. And then it's pretty much like, at least if you're in a forest and something's chasing you, you could try to climb a tree. And by, you know, in this scenario, I'm like super active and can do that type of thing. Whereas a cornfield, your option is pretty much to run, and then also whatever's chasing you can kind of see where you're going, because that's how corn works. So yeah, I guess I've talked myself into the forest, I think, is where I would rather be in the dark. Not really a fan of either, to be honest, but yeah, we'll go with that. Number 17, if you could make a magic potion, what would it do? And what ingredients would it take to make it? Okay, I really like this question because it's so creative. I mean, in general, what kind of magic potion? That's a cool question. But then the ingredients, I mean, that's cool. I don't know what magic potion ingredients there are. But let me think. What would my magic potion be? I really want to say something that's kind of benevolent or like would help people. But really, I've always wanted to be able to be invisible and then like spy on people. Oh my God, please don't unsubscribe. Speaking of, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, so I think I'd want to be invisible. I don't know. There's a lot of benefits to being invisible, I think. Not just for like weird, creepy reasons. More just could get where you need to be. Nobody would see you. What would it take to make this potion? Let's see. Sweat of a ghost, werewolf, what is it? Werewolf hair, a vampire fang, and a lot of regret. Question number 18. What was your favorite Halloween costume of all time? I'm not huge on dressing up. Like, obviously I did when I was younger. And I haven't really dressed up in a while. Actually, for this year, Danny Buttons and I did the cutest costume ever. We were crayons. I will put a picture up and show you what our crayon costume looked like. We even got our partners to dress up as crayons, so we were a cute little crayon box. And of course, I mean, Danielle is just such a creative person, and it fit our colorcation. So I just think it was a very fun Halloween costume, and it was super easy. I think that's my thing, is I like super easy costumes. So yeah, that's been a good one. I can't remember like any good ones when I was younger. I feel like I was kind of the stereotypical like princess, witch. I think I was a pirate one year that I really liked. I don't have any pictures. I'm not a picture person. I have been a robber in the past. I like that costume. It's kind of easy. Just do a black and white shirt, get a mask, you're good. So I've definitely done that. Ooh, and one year I went to work as Liz Lemon. That was another super easy costume. I like to do costumes where I already have everything in my closet. So yeah, I was Liz Lemon from 30 Rock. So yeah, I think those have been my favorite costumes. Question number 19. Who would you rather have as a friend? Michael Myers, Pennywise, Alien, Predator, or Freddy Krueger, and why? Let me talk through this. Michael Myers. That man's a creep. I don't think I want him as my friend. He doesn't talk. He always ends up coming back somehow when you kill him. And he's too pale. So yeah, let's next on Michael Myers. Pennywise, I don't know, man. Like, he's supposed to know your worst fears or whatever, right? So he'd probably like do some really creepy vision of a field of butterflies with me running through it. Ugh. Like, absolutely not. I'm not a huge clown person, to be honest. So yeah, let's pass on that. Alien, okay. Alien and Predator. I remember the movie Alien. I just can't quite remember the difference between like the Alien and Predator situation. Like, do they have benefits over the other? Do they look that different? I don't know. People are probably screaming at me through the screen, I guess, who are super big Alien or Predator fans. I think I saw Alien versus Predator. But yeah, I feel like they probably don't have the capacity to be my friend. I noticed this piece of hair, sorry. And yeah, I feel like, not too interested. Who else we got on our list? Freddy Krueger. He seems like he has a good sense of humor. And I do love me some horizontal stripes and some distressing in your clothes. Like, that's super on trend right now. But do I want him to be in all of my dreams? I don't know. Or here, you know who I want to be my friend? Jason. Maybe Leatherface, but no, Jason. I mean, he will protect you to the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man is fierce. And he had a bad childhood, so I feel like He'd kind of be relatable, probably a little bit dorky. The only thing is he doesn't really like to go swimming, but we could work around that. So yeah, let's go with Jason. He wasn't on the list, but yeah, I think that's why. I think he'd just be a really loyal friend. Last question. Who are 3 people you'd like to participate in the coloring scare tag? Since I'm doing this tag so late, which is very me, I feel like I'm a little late for tagging people. I've seen a lot of people doing this tag, so please go check them out. Please check out Danny Button's scare tag as well as Camille's scare tag, and maybe leave something in the comments about your answers to one of these questions. I'll leave all the questions in the video description, so do me a favor, choose one of your favorite questions and let me know what your answer is in the comments below. I didn't get very far on my picture, but I'm just really excited that I can use these water-based markers, so stay tuned in my completed pages. Hopefully I'll have at least this portion of the page done in time for the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Even though I exposed myself as a creep, I promise I'm not that creepy. Yeah, I had a great time with this tag. Thank you again to Danielle and Camille for tagging me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.